Yes, ma'am.
Right. So on this Sunday, that is on 19th of April 2020, I decided to share with you all a session which is related to negotiation skills. All right. Now, a moment once when we talk about negotiation skills, people they feel that only once when they are working in an organization they are going to use this particular skill. In fact, this is a myth. So we need to understand that negotiation skills are something which are applicable in our day-to-day life everywhere. It is part of our life in each and every field, as a student, as a teacher, as a parent, or even as a management member or as an employee. We are going to use our negotiation skills. So let us understand how and what is important, and how we can make this negotiation skills highly beneficial for all of us. All right. So as you can see, I have shared this slide. This is a definition. This is a basic definition of negotiation skills, which says that it is generally conducted, or it is generally associated with the solving of the problem. So whenever we are talking about facing a problem where there is a disagreement between one party to the other party, there they generally agree to negotiate between each other. So whenever we are talking about negotiation, negotiation is different from bargaining, negotiation is different from adjustment. Negotiation says that each party, that is both the party opponent as well as the one which has pitched, they both come to an agreement. They both have a win-win situation wherein they both understand that negotiation skill is going to be beneficial. But how to apply this? What are the common factors that we have to keep in our mind whenever we are talking about negotiation skill? That we are going to see through our next slide. The moment once when we are talking about the factors of negotiation, these are the basic six factors which definitely influence the negotiation. So the first thing that we are going to talk about in detail would be influence. Moment once when we say influence, we need to understand we are talking, we are communicating, we are sharing our opinion with others. The moment once when we are sharing our opinion with others, it means that there has to be a factor of influence. Unless and until you are not going to influence others, you will see that they will not listen to you. You have to build a rapport between yourself and the other party. For that, you have to influence others. When I say influence, please understand, when we talk about influencing, we give value to others and we expect that others also should value our words and terms. Similarly, the next term is integrity. The moment once when we are talking about integrity, there has to be a relationship. Unless and until the relationship point is missing, you cannot communicate. There is no interaction between two parties which are not in integrity. So the moment once when we are talking about integrity, it says that the moment you are thinking about having a word on basis of some topic or on basis of certain discussion, you need to have this integrity. Unless and until you are not integrated, unless and until you are not connected, unless and until you are not associated, people will not value you. So the first thing that we have to keep in our mind is influence. Our words, our communication, our thoughts, our action. Please remember, the moment once when we say influence, it happens both by verbal as well as non-verbal communication. So the moment once when we are talking about influence, we have to understand we can influence others. How can we influence others? By acting according to others' opinion, by giving respect to what others are saying. Accordingly, we can think about adding our own thoughts and processes. So therefore, when we are talking about negotiation, the basic two factors are influence and integrity. The third one is information. Unless and until if there is no information, you cannot think about negotiation. The moment you are thinking about negotiation, there has to be some information. When I say information, please remember all the information that we are having should have relevant facts and relevant figures. If the relevant fact and figure is missing, trust me, your information will always be heard. It won't be listened. I repeat, if the facts and figures are not well assembled, if it is not presented in a proper way, you can always consider it as an information which is shared. People will hear to it, but they will not act according to it. Why? Because there is no fact, there is no figure. So therefore, the moment once when we are talking about facts and figures, it has to be connected with the information. The next element is time. Present your pitch at the right time. When the opportunity is there, you have to grab the opportunity. Once when you lose that opportunity, you cannot get it back. Similarly, time, once when it passes by, you cannot get it back. So the moment once when we are talking about time, time is like an opportunity. Time itself is an opportunity. So therefore, you have to work very hard. You have to understand what to do, when to do, and how to do at the right time. If you don't put your efforts at right time, trust me, the best efforts will bring you no benefits at all. So therefore, you have to be very considerate in taking up the decision. You have to be very choosy while setting up your pace. At what time am I going to speak? What, when, how? That has to be properly planned and well designed. The next one is emotional control. Particularly when we are talking about with the students of management, when we are talking about negotiation. Negotiation is something where other person always feel that I am getting something less than my expectation. Keep this in your mind. The moment once when you are negotiating, the other party will always feel that probably others are cheating me. Probably they are going to take benefit out of my softness. So therefore, you have to have this control over emotional outbreak. You need to have a proper understanding between each other that I respect you, you respect me. I value your emotions, you value my emotions. You need to empathize rather than sympathizing. You have to give value to whatever they are saying. And then please make sure that you are not fooling others. Because these days, people have seen that because of the emotional connectivity, they share each and every information and then steadily the other person backbites. So therefore, you have to have this clarity in your mind that whenever somebody is cheating you, you need to have control over it. That happens if you are not having a proper control over your emotional outbreak. Finally, communication skill. How well you communicate. Many times it happens that as a student of management, when you are asked to speak, you have wonderful thoughts, you have wonderful ideas, but because you are lacking into those right words, because you are failing to pitch with the right sentences, you cannot proceed ahead, and you find it very difficult to move ahead with the right tone, with the right words, with the right effort, wherein you lose the opportunity. In order to seal the deal, you have to have the right words in your mouth, you have to communicate very well. So therefore, once again, let us reiterate that when we talk about negotiation, the basic factors which are affecting negotiation skills are influence, integrity, information, time, emotional control, and communication skills. Now, when we talk about negotiation is a lengthy process. This process is broadly divided into 4 stages. Please remember with the acronym GOTS, this will help you to remember the stage of negotiation process throughout your life as a member of management in future, with an organization, even at home when you have to manage certain things, when you are negotiating with others. You have to keep these basic background preparatory steps in your mind. The first stage is groundwork. You need to have a proper groundwork. Once when you are talking about groundwork, you have to understand that do your homework well. If you are not doing your homework pretty well, you may not be able to build that rapport. You need to understand who the audience is, what are their expectations, how well they are going to pitch with you, how well they are going to gel up with you. And unless and until you don't have this proper understanding, it will become very difficult for you to connect with the person, to influence, to integrate, or to even share the information. So therefore, it is very important that you have to have this proper understanding. You need to build up a proper background. You need to do a proper homework, find out who the audience is, what are their expectations, what are their level of understanding. Straight away, you should never propose. Please remember this, that whenever you are proposing to anyone or everyone, that is not going to solve your purpose. When we talk about negotiation, negotiation happens only between two like people. Now, when I say like people, that means they should be in capacity. They should have that authority of taking up the decision. Say, for example, if you are a student who is studying in a college, and if I ask you for any kind of permission, you're not the right person to give me the permission. For that, I will have to reach up to the right authorities so that I can seek their permission. So therefore, you need to remember that whenever we are talking about groundwork, groundwork happens with two things. One, your product. Second, the people. When I say product, know about your own proposal in a proper way, know about your products in a proper way, know about each and every intricacies in a proper way, so that each and everything can be shared to the audience in an explained and in detailed manner. So the ones when the groundwork is done, Work out on opening. How well are you going to open up? Open up in the sense, what are your initiative sentences? What are your ways of starting up the conversation? How well you value others? Like the moment once when you meet your opponent, you need to greet them, you have to shake your hands, you have to very, very polite, convincing. Then accordingly move ahead with the dealing. When I say dealing, dealing means how are you going to pitch up your product? How are you going to pitch up your own self? Say, for example, you are appearing for an interview process. There, the company member is asking you to introduce yourself. The moment once when the company is asking to introduce, you have to remember you're selling yourself. The product is you. So, the moment once you need to pitch yourself, understand your own strength and weaknesses. Have a clear cut identity that what are your own credentials? What are the plus points? What are the negatives that you are having within you? And how you're going to cover up those negatives by sharing your positive. And when you do this, you are negotiating with the others. So the moment once when you are dealing, you need to understand yourself, and at the same time, you also understand the others' needs. So, for example, again, the same example of interview. Unless and until you don't know the job description, unless and until you don't know the company profile, unless and until you haven't gone through the Glassdoor reviews where they are talking about the workplace environment, where the people are talking about work culture of the organization, you cannot identify what kind of organization you're going to get associated. So therefore, it is very important that once when we are talking about negotiation, and particularly this particular stage of dealing, this is the most important stage. After you do your groundwork and after having a great start, you need to pitch yourself, you need to pitch the product, and you have to build up that rapport. Rapport building happens when you are dealing with the person. Many a times people may disagree. Many a times people may straight away say no to your product. So how are you going to accept their no's? How are you going to say that, okay, fine, if you are saying no to this, what are your reasons for saying no? Have patience. Don't get agitated. Don't be aggressive in your nature. Be assertive in accepting the no and try to come up with solution. Don't close the deal then and there itself. Finally, summing up, if you feel that revisions are required, if you feel that there are further stages of development, there are further uh, difficulties which are still left, or there is certain disagreement on one or other 2 points, so you have to think about the better options. You have to come up with a revision of your particular negotiation point. So therefore, the moment once when we are talking about negotiation process, there are 4 stages. The first one is groundwork. That means we have to find out the basics of our own product as well as about our audience. How are we going to start? That is the opening. Then pitching up with your product, that is the dealing. And finally, it is summing up. Summing up says that you are ready to close the deal. Now, there are certain strategies that we have to keep in our mind whenever we are talking about negotiation process. Those strategies are as follows. The first one is understanding. Unless and until we don't understand what is expected by others, we cannot pitch in a right way. So it is very important to express your ideas which are directly getting connected with the thoughts of others. I repeat, your idea should connect with the thoughts of others, with the thoughts of others, with their ideas of others. If it is not at all connecting with the ideas and thoughts of others, it becomes very difficult for you to pitch. So therefore, the first strategy should be that the moment I am going to start, the time I'm going to begin with my conversation, the person should get connected with my words, connected with my body language, connected with my product. The second one is be very observant, be very keen and calm in observing what others are watching. Please remember, unless and until you don't watch others, you cannot get the clue. You cannot be vigilant. You will never get to know who the right people are, whether they are understanding your product or not, whether they are getting connected with your product or not. So therefore, it is very important that you have to have a proper understanding about your opponent. Be very careful with their body language. Many times they give you a clue whether they are liking or disliking, maybe through their body language, maybe with the words that they are using, could be with some kind of facial expressions or the gesture. So therefore, you have to be very vigilant the moment once when you are presenting your body or whenever you are talking about the product. The third strategy is, please remember, in order to attract any customer, in order to attract any client, in order to attract an interviewer, or even in order to attract your friend or family member, don't bluff. Don't present any wrong statement. The moment once when you are presenting a wrong statement, you are actually killing your relationship. You're going to commit suicide with you and the other person's relationship. So therefore, you have to understand that you cannot bluff. You have to be very vigilant. You have to be very careful. You need to be very skeptical in using the right words. You have to be very accountable while using the codes, while using the facts, while using the figures, because once stated will be blocked there, will be sealed there, and you cannot say no later on. So therefore, don't quote any wrong statements. The last two is already being detailed. Do your homework very well, present your facts and figures appropriately. And when you are negotiating in a team, every member of the team should be on the same page. Now, if I, as a team member A, is presenting something, team B, team C, team D will have their own ways of presenting. But team A, person number 1, person number 2, person number 3, person number 4 will have to have clarity. They cannot deviate in their thoughts. They cannot deviate in their statement. They cannot deviate in facts and figures. So please understand that there are different teams. In an open market, when there is a competition going on, Team A may have different strategies of convincing their customers and client when compared to Team B or when compared to Team C. But within Team A, the clarity, or there shouldn't be any disparity. The point of clarity should be absolutely high. There cannot be any doubts. In front of your client, if you could not understand, don't question with your own team members about your doubts. Say, for example, I am negotiating with a person named Y, and there is a team member of my team named A. He could not understand the point that I have stated it to Mr. Y. He cannot ask me the question in front of Y, because that shows that my team members, they are not having a clear-cut idea. So it is very important to understand that whenever we are talking about any kind of presentation, any kind of proposal, any kind of reading, any kind of meeting, the team members must be very clear with their thoughts, with their ideas. They all have to be on the same page. Unless and until they are not on the same page, it becomes very difficult. Now, there are chances that people are finding difficult to negotiate. Why are they finding it difficult to negotiate? Because something is missing in the proposal, something is missing in the speech, something is missing in the point of view. So therefore, we need to have an alternative. Here comes plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. So how to negotiate with others? Please remember, never ever open your ace cards at a time. You have to keep your ace card with you very, very carefully so that you can use it at the right time and at the right moment. The moment once when we are talking about negotiation, everybody is blessed with certain opportunities. You have to keep your opportunities with you so that you can use it at a right time. Please remember, in the factor, I have clearly stated that influence, integrity, and information is followed by time. You need to understand what is the right time of opening up so that you can share, you can influence, you can integrate, that is, you can get related, and you can also pass on the information. So the moment once when we are talking about negotiation, there are chances that person did not like your point A. Then are we ready with point B? Are we ready with point C? Are we ready with point D? This is what the acronym BATNA is standing for. It says best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Whatever we are negotiating, there are certain alternatives which the people may like, which the other person, the client, or the customers are going to like. So therefore, you need to have plan A, plan B, plan C, so that in case if you are missing something, you can add on, you can delete, and then you can propose something new so that the client or the customer get connected with you for a longer period of time. So please remember, this term BATNA was originally used by Roger Fisher and William Murray in their famous book, which is called as Getting to Yes, Negotiating Without Giving In. This is a wonderful book. If given an opportunity, you can read the ebook. It is available in the form of PDF. Go through it. It gives you a wonderful impression. So the moment once when we are talking about what kind of skill sets that are required in order to negotiate in an effective way. These are the basic six skill sets which are required in each and every human being, whosoever is going to negotiate. The first one is communication skill. The second one is listening. The third one is rapport building. Fourth one, assertiveness. Fifth, problem solving. And sixth, decision making. As a person, as a manager, or as a person who's going to work in a team, you have to negotiate every now and then. So the moment once when we are talking about negotiation skill, the first one is communication. You cannot deny from this fact that negotiation skills are the pillar or the prime factor with which you are going to negotiate. So if you have good communication, automatically you can negotiate. Second is listening. When you have good ability to listen, you understand where the differences are coming, why the person is disagreeing, and how can you even handle those rough and tough situations. Rapport building, you should have the good interpersonal skills. Unless and until you are not building up the good interpersonal skill with the other, if you don't give value to others, you are not going to get value. So therefore you need to build up good relationship. For this you need to have good interpersonal skill. Assertiveness, instead of getting aggressive, have the habit of saying, okay, I understand there is some kind of difference between your thought and my thought. Let me come back to you with some other idea, with some other thought. Let us look into some other option. Please remember, don't get aggressive. The moment you are aggressive, the argument will turn into a debate, and that debate can become a hot debate wherein you may lose the client forever. So therefore it is better never to be aggressive. It is always advised to follow assertiveness. The moment once when we are doing this, we know that negotiation is a win-win situation for both of us. So therefore we need to understand there is a problem, and that problem requires a proper solution. So identify the problem at an earlier stage and come up with solution. Don't always think only from your side. That is the reason it is said, have an integrity. The moment once when you integrate, you add yourself with others. So you get to know what are your pros and what are the other person's pros. If you are thinking only about others, your benefit, and not at all taking into consideration the benefits of others, it is going to be a loss situation for the other person. So therefore there won't be any negotiation, and the deal is going to be cancelled. So therefore it is very important to understand the problem areas, and then based on the problem you need to come up with a solution. If you have a solution, don't stop there. You need to come with a decisive factor, and that decisive element is making decision. Be very gentle in taking up the decision. See that you empathize with others, see that you value others, and see that others are also going to give respect to what you are saying. I believe that this has given you a brief idea about negotiation skill. Now, in case if you are having any doubts, I want you all to switch on your mic, and then we can have this discussion. Anything which you could not understand, we can discuss, we can do a proper debate sort of thing, or we can even understand each other. Or if there is something which you could not understand wherein you require my explanation once again, I can do that. Hope this information is very simple, easy to understand, and you people have absorbed whatever is being told, because negotiation is something which is very,
Ma'am, one question.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, rapport building. Can you repeat?
Rapport building is something where we are building a relationship with others. Say, for example, you know your family members. You don't hesitate while talking to them. But if an unknown person is there, wherein you have to go pitch your product or pitch yourself, you take time. Why? Because you hesitate. You hesitate when you are speaking to an unknown person. So how do you start your conversation in order to build that connection between you and an unknown person? That is called as rapport building. And I hope I have cleared your doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, dear. Is there any other doubt with any other student?
मैम
Yes.
नेगोशिएशन प्रोसेस को थोड़ा हिंदी में समझा सकती हैं?
किस चीज को?
नेगोशिएशन प्रोसेस को?
ठीक है, नेगोशिएशन प्रोसेस उसे कहा जाता है जहां पर हम खुद के बेनिफिट्स को ही नहीं, हम अपने से जो हमारे सामने में जो हमारे अपोनेंट पार्टी है, हम उनके भी बेनिफिट्स को ध्यान में रखते हुए कुछ लॉस अपने यहाँ पर भी बेयर करते हुए और कुछ लॉस उनके साथ भी शेयर करते हुए जब हम एक कंसेंसस पर आते हैं, हम एक कॉमन प्लेटफॉर्म पर आते हैं, उसे नेगोशिएट कहते हैं। जनरली जब हम बिजनेस करते हैं, हमें याद रखना है कि हमें बिजनेस सिर्फ एक बार के लिए नहीं करना, हम लॉन्ग टर्म्स पर बिजनेस करते हैं। और एक मैनेजमेंट के स्टूडेंट होने के कारण से आप लोगों को ये ध्यान में रखना है कि जब भी हम नेगोशिएट की बात कर रहे हैं, वो नेगोशिएशन शायद इस बार आपको थोड़ा बहुत लॉस बेयर करने के लिए कह रहा हो, लेकिन आगे चलकर वो आपको लॉस नहीं बल्कि बेनिफिट को देगा। इसीलिए नेगोशिएशन को डिफरेंट रखा गया है अलग अलग चीजों से। जैसे नेगोशिएट को आप कंप्लीटली बार्गेनिंग नहीं कह सकते, नेगोशिएट को आप ये भी नहीं कह सकते कि लोग आपके बातों को एक्सेप्ट करें। एक्सेप्टेंस इज नॉट नेगोशिएशन। हाँ, नेगोशिएशन में एक पार्ट जरूर हो सकता है एक्सेप्ट करने का, लेकिन नेगोशिएशन इज नॉट इक्विवेलेंट टू एक्सेप्टेंस और नॉट इक्विवेलेंट टू बार्गेनिंग। नेगोशिएट इज समथिंग, आई हैव अ थॉट and you have a thought, both these thoughts are matching with each other or not. If it is matching, there is a negotiation. If it is not matching, then there cannot be a negotiation. All right, so we have to keep this in our mind the moment once when we are talking about the negotiation. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
anything else?
Thank you.
Okay, dear.
मैम वो बांटना जो था BATNA वो थोड़ा
बेटा
बेस्ट
पहले
अल्टरनेटिव
पहले सबसे पहले ना वो टर्म किसने उसे यूज किया है वो आपको पता होगा। ये तब यूज किया गया है
मैम, ये
जब
ऑपरेशन मैनेजमेंट में भी पढ़े हुए थे मैम बांटना,
यस आप लोगों ने
वो
इसे
नेगोशिएशन स्किल्स में ही था।
एग्जैक्टली वो वही है जहां पर भी आप लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा। इस टर्म का मतलब ये होता है बेस्ट ऑल्टरनेटिव टू अ नेगोशिएटेड अग्रीमेंट। आप जब नेगोशिएट
Yes,
कर
ma'am.
रहे हैं किसी के साथ, अगर आपने नेगोशिएट कर लिया है और एक अग्रीमेंट आ गए हैं, हमेशा उसी अग्रीमेंट पर आप कंटिन्यूअसली काम करते रहेंगे ऐसा प्रोसेस तो है नहीं। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल जीएसटी से पहले लोग जो टैक्स का स्लैब्स थे, जो बार था, वो अलग अलग था। लेकिन जैसे ही जीएसटी अप्लाई हुआ या जैसे आप कहीं पर भी जीएसटी एप्लीकेशंस में आना शुरू हुआ है, आपने देखा होगा क्या वो सीजीएसटी लग रहा है, एसजीएसटी लग रहा है या आईजीएसटी लग रहा है, क्या क्या फर्क आने वाला है, उससे आपके कॉस्ट में क्या अप्स एंड डाउन्स होंगे। ये आप दोनों को अग्री करते हुए अग्रीमेंट में फिर से मॉडिफिकेशंस लाना पड़ सकता है। ऐसा नहीं है कि नेगोशिएशन अगर एक बार हो गया तो फुल एंड फाइनल है। हमें टाइम टू टाइम, सिचुएशन टू सिचुएशन, हर जगह पर नेगोशिएशन को ओपन रखना होता है। बाय चांस मेरे पास प्रोडक्ट है ही नहीं जिसका डिमांड मार्केट में आ रहा है, तो डिमांड तो आ गया लेकिन सप्लाई है नहीं, तो क्या मैं अभी कुछ और कहीं और से खरीद कर अपने नाम का एक लेबल लगाकर मार्केट में बेचना शुरू कर दूं? क्या ये एथिकल होगा? नहीं होगा, राइट? क्यों? क्योंकि वो मेरा प्रोडक्ट नहीं है। तब मैं अपने क्लाइंट से क्या बात करूं? तब वहां पर नेगोशिएशन के टर्म्स में कुछ ना कुछ वेरिएशंस आता है, उसी को बांटना कहा गया है। दैट मीन्स यू नीड टू हैव अ बेस्ट ऑल्टरनेटिव। ऑल्टरनेटिव का मतलब इसके बजाय एक और नया थॉट, एक और नया सोच। इसीलिए आपने ऑपरेशंस मैनेजमेंट में देखा होगा, जहां पर भी प्रोडक्शन आता है, जहां पर भी लॉजिस्टिक्स आता है, जहां सप्लाई चेन मैनेजमेंट आता है, इतना ही नहीं, सेल्स में सबसे ज्यादा आप नेगोशिएट करते हैं। आपने अगर कभी भी मार्केटिंग के बारे में सोच रखा है तो लाइफ में याद रखिए, नेगोशिएशन आपके लाइफ का राइट हैंड बनने वाला है। हर दिन आपको नेगोशिएट करना है, हर एक दिन। क्यों? क्योंकि आपको कहीं ना कहीं एडजस्ट होना होता है। किसके साथ? अपने क्लाइंट्स के साथ, अपने कस्टमर्स के साथ, अपने मैनेजमेंट के साथ, अपने पीयर्स के साथ, अपने कलीग्स के साथ। So therefore, this is something which is very important. You have to have this concept very clearly understood by you. Any other doubt? All right then. Yes. If you have doubts, you can get it clarified. But otherwise, yes, Peter.
How to start communicating with that person who is not ready to communicate?
All right.
Or start any kind of conversation?
Wonderful. This is the toughest thing which you have really asked. This happens with those people who don't love to listen to others, right? At that time, you have to start your communication with certain clues, with certain, what I should say, show them the benefits. Unless and until you are not going to show them the benefit, unless and until you are not going to present what benefits they are going to gain after the communication, they will never love to listen to you. Always remember, if a person is disagreeing to listen to you, start with benefits. Always remember, there is a technique, I believe in your marketing MM1 or MM2, the teachers must have told you about FAB. That is features, advantages, and benefits. There is a concept of presentation of a product wherein you describe the features, wherein you are going to talk about the advantages, and then you talk about the benefits which the end user is going to gain. So the moment once when we start with, instead of FAB, if I reverse this order and if I come with BAF, that is, first I need to connect with the benefits. Unless and until I don't show the benefit, the communication will not start. So start at that point with the benefits. अगर आप मुझसे communicate करते हैं तो आपको ये benefits होने वाला है. हमेशा याद रखें, लोग profit के लिए आगे बढ़ता है. आपने देखा होगा मार्केट में भी 50% सेल अप टू, वो बाद में लिखा वो बहुत छोटा सा रहता है, लेकिन 50% सेल लोग दौड़ पड़ते हैं. बिग बिलियन डेज, ग्रेट अमेज़न का ग्रेट सेल डे और बिग डेज, ऐसे बहुत सारे आप लोगों ने लुक्रेटिव ऑफर्स को देखा होगा. ये ऑफर क्यों दिखा रहा है? पहले लोगों को बेनिफिट दिखाया जा रहा है. बेनिफिट में जब आप क्लिक करेंगे तब आपको उससे होने वाले एडवांटेजेस, और फिर उससे आपको ये भी पता चलता है ओके फाइन, ये लिमिटेड प्रोडक्ट्स पर है, इसके फीचर्स में ये कमी है. Clear? So therefore you have to remember, whenever a person is disagreed to listen to you, connect the person with the benefits. Show them their plus points. If they are going to get connected, it is better to listen to them. बहुत रेयर केस ऐसा होता है जब अगर आपका अपोनेंट पार्टी आपका बात सुनना ही नहीं चाह रहा है. ये हमेशा याद रखना. कस्टमर सिर्फ एक नहीं है. The world is filled and it is full of customers. So if there is a person who is completely ignoring your product, don't break your head and don't waste your time in front of such clients or customers. Move on. But even with them, leave your proposal, share your opinion, mail them, get connected. Follow up इसीलिए बहुत important होता है. Unless and until you are not following up your product, you cannot reach to the customer and clients. और सबसे important इसीलिए कहा बेटा, know your audience, filter your audience. मान लेते हैं हम ऐसे लोगों के पास गए हैं जिनके पास उस लेवल का अथॉरिटी ही नहीं है, उस लेवल का उनके पास राइट्स ही नहीं है डिसीजन लेने का, और उसको मैंने अपने प्रोडक्ट का ए से लेकर जेड तक सारा इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर कर दिया. फायदा क्या? सो आइडेंटिफाई द ऑडियंस, क्योंकि अगर ऑडियंस राइट है वो 100% सुनेगा. अगर ऑडियंस रॉन्ग होगा, कितना भी अच्छा प्रपोजल, कितना भी अच्छा कॉन्सेप्ट, कितना भी आपका अच्छा कम्युनिकेशन स्किल क्यों ना हो, वो वेस्ट है. एक तरह से आपका एफर्ट वेस्ट जा रहा है. So identify the right audience. This is very important. आप हर दिन इंटरव्यू दे सकते हैं, राइट? लेकिन जब जॉब ओपनिंग हो और जब आपके सामने इंटरव्यूअर बैठा है, उस दिन जैसे आप इंटरव्यू दोगे वो और जहां पर आप मॉक इंटरव्यूज दे रहे हैं, वहां पर उस दिन का परफॉर्मेंस बहुत फर्क होता है. Why? Because you know there you are negotiating. There it is an open platform for you to present your skills and to close the deal. So therefore it varies. It varies from person to person. It varies from place to place, time to time, situation to situation. Any other doubts? And I hope Divyanka.
No, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. One question, please.
Yes, dear.
Ma'am, is ego play a role in negotiation?
Is
Ego play a role in negotiation part?
yes, of course. Yes, of course. So, for example, if you're a person who believes that your product is the best, all right, and if you work with that ego state of mind, automatically you're going to lose your customers. So, therefore, there has to be, that is the reason there is a word, if you remember in the factors we discussed, emotional control. The moment once when your emotions are, yes, your emotions are controlled, automatically your ego will be in controlled state. Otherwise, you are going to lose your client. Remember this. In ego state, what happens? I am the best, rest others are not at my par. This is the common mindset of a person who is in ego. Trust me, everybody is best at one point or the other. All right, some may be best in something, other may be best at other things. So we have to keep this ego aside whenever we are pitching, and always ready to change, always ready to modify, always ready to listen. When you listen, when you change, when you modify, things happens in a better. All right.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, dear. Thank you very much for being the part of this webinar. In case if you are having any new topic which is there in your mind, which you want to get connected, we will definitely get connected through this particular Zoom app or Zoom meeting. God bless you all. Stay safe and stay at home.
Thank you, ma'am.
God bless you all. Take care.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, dear.